Welcome to the Lipoedema podcast, hosted by Shell and Tiana. Our aim is to make noise around lipedema and educate as many people as we can about this disease.
Our guest list contains professionals who work in the field and women who live with lipedema. Thank you for joining us. Chelsey Jean is a leader in the health and wellness community with a focus in lymphatic health and a naturopath and sports therapist by trade. She's the owner and founder of Chelsey Jean Lymphatics, which offers lymphatic health services around Brisbane, with big plans to expand this year.
Welcome back to the Lipoedema podcast. We are your hosts, Shell
and Tiana, and tonight we are joined by our special guest, Chelsey Jean from Chelsey Jean Lymphatics. Hello, and thank you for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here with you, girls. If I can't give you a big hug, the next best thing to do is to look at your faces on this call today. And, you know, getting this lipedema awareness out. Shell, I know that you are just loving sharing everything. So I'm with you, girlfriend. Let's do it.
All right. So on that, Chels, when did you first come to learn about lipedema?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this the other day. I can remember the exact time when I moved back from living out at Grantchester. I had 16 acres out there bringing up my son as a single mum. And then I moved back to Brisbane to complete my studies. I was working in a room at my grandfather's house, and I had a client come in, and she would always wear long clothes. And she hopped on the table, and she's a beautiful lady, and she hopped on, and I saw her legs, and I was like, wow, okay, I haven't seen this before. But we just did the same thing. We massaged through her top, we massaged through her belly, we did her legs, we did the anti-inflammatory, eating, that type of thing. And one of the biggest things we did, though, was the emotional stuff. And I'm big on the emotional. I'm happy to touch anyone's body and to see what's going on, but she had to release emotionally as well. And I love that type of thing. And then I researched it a little bit more. And then I'm like, oh, wow, lipedema. Oh, wow, 1 in 10. Oh, my God. I better press got it. This is a big thing. And from then, our goal, like the day that she came to me wearing a skirt, I remember that day too. So, and she went on a journey with me. She did lose 10 kilos. She got rid of the husband. There was a lot of things that she had to change in her life that wasn't supporting her and her different beliefs and things. But we made a big change to her life. And then that opened me up to the world of lipedema and, those types of inflammatory diseases.
Oh my gosh, Chelsey, when you just said she came in one day wearing a skirt, I think my heart rate just went up a little bit because I'm not a skirts girl. And I think it's probably rooted in the fact that I have lipedema, that I just don't bother wearing skirts and don't want to show my legs. And I'm wondering as I go through my journey and I get more lymphatic support and I go through my surgeries, I wonder if I will eventually become a skirts girl. That just went through my mind.
Yeah, so that's the big picture. That's the picture that I would love you to see, that possibility of the, am I allowed to swear on here? Okay, so not giving a fuck and going, you know what? I'm wearing a skirt today, and to wear it, to own it, to flaunt it and wear that skirt. That's the spot that I would love the lippy girls to be able to get to, and just have that confidence, to be able to do that. So, and it does take steps, and those steps are really important too.
See, that was one of the first things I did. I started wearing not a maxi skirt. I started wearing a shorter dress. And you'll see it's the blue dress I wear all the time. It's like just a sundress, but it's shorter at the front so you can see my chubby little knees, and it goes longer at the back. But that was the first thing I decided to do. I'm like, I'm going to wear that dress. I'm not going to cover up anymore. And I think, like I've spoken about it, for me, I'd done a lot of that inner work before I found out about lipedema. So I was already sort of on the acceptance trail, knew who I was happy with who I was when I got that diagnosis. So I think I was very lucky having some of that mental shift already happen.
I can see that in you, Shelley. Like I can see that you're not one of our typical lipo ladies. Yeah, lippy ladies. Yes, you can see that you've already done that. The diagnosis, you get that it becomes therapeutic, and then it's okay. I've got this now. Gives me ways to change. I can change the rules now. So the way that I was thinking, but you were already on changing the way that you were thinking anyway. So when it comes to any type of inflammation to do with the lymphatic system, a lot of it comes down to like an inner loneliness from a childhood, from a young age, of having this loneliness, and then that whole not feeling safe in a close relationship. So having a betrayal and that type of thing like happen. There's lots of different steps that can happen with lymphedema and lipedema, and then having somebody then give you a diagnosis gives you then authority to change. You don't have to think that everyone's going to leave you. You don't have to be reliant. You don't have to be lonely. You don't have to be so heroic and strong and not ask for help and not accept love and don't think that you're lovable and all of those things, so you've done those steps.
Oh, thank you, Chelsey. And I think it's like a permission piece, isn't it? It's like, here's your permission slip. Go and look after yourself. Like you can prioritize you. Like you have to prioritize you.
Yeah. Definitely.
And
you can change.
Yeah, you can change. Absolutely. Yeah. So what's your professional approach to lipedema patients?
Yeah. So the first thing is everybody is different. Everybody is different. There is not one approach at all to this. So when it comes to brushing, so using my gloves and doing the lymphatic treatment, self-massaging, everything is the same. Everybody is the same. Everybody starts at the chest, everybody then does their belly and then does the legs, and it does the same. Anybody who is sicker or has a more compromised body is going to have to do it more. So that's when it comes to doing the body brushing and also the compression. You are going to have to do it more. When it comes to diet, you've got the RAD diet, you've got the keto diet, you've got all these different, the HCG diet. There are lots of things, but I've always come from a place of what suits you the best. And that's where we do a hair test. So all of our clients normally will do a hair test where we cut off a little bit of hair from the ends. We send that off up to the lab, and it comes up and it tells us against 600 different foods what foods are going to cause inflammation in your body and what foods are going to work well with your body. So some people, it'll say no chicken, no strawberries, no broccoli. Others, it'll say no lactose-free milk. You can only have maybe goat cheese. You can't have Helga's grain wholemeal, but you can have sourdough, something. Don't use Colgate. Like, it's an individual process when it comes to food, but we have to agree that it has to be low inflammation. But what's going on in your gut is going to be different to what's going on in everyone's gut. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, we're all so individual, and it's also what you can do sustainably as well. Like, what can you do long term to benefit yourself. Like, because if you can't do it, what's the point of taking it on? So the hair test, so it's not an allergy test. Can you explain a little bit what the hair test is, Chelsey?
Yeah. So most people know what they're allergic to. Everybody, if you're allergic to something. We're testing that 60 to 80%, the things that if you have too much of are going to cause your skin to erupt, your bowels to move too fast or too slow, you not to be able to absorb food, bloating, low energy levels, those sort of things that when you're having too much of them, you feel like, but you don't really know what it is. So we're removing that 60 to 80% marking, not the 80% to 100 that you're allergic to. So that's that next layer down. And we see, like I do over 500 of them a year in clinic. We see dramatic, massive changes in people's energy levels, their absorption of minerals and fats and fluids. And, it's important, the water and all of that too. And just their pain goes down. Like there's nothing that really, 80% of their symptoms pretty much disappear when they're following their hair test results. And then the body has time to heal and allow, to be not so angry and fiery. And then we can add some different supplements in. But really it's about stop putting in things that are going to make your body angry. Stop causing that inflammation and start doing the things that are going to help your body get rid of the toxins, because, lipedema, lymphedema, it's all that, that tissue is stopping the toxins getting out of the body. That structure is just not letting that mesh, is just not letting the toxins out. So making sure your bowels are working properly, making sure that you're breathing well, peeing, sweating, all the ways that toxins get out, but minimize the toxins that are coming in, which is really hard to do in this life at the moment. It's hard.
Yeah, because that would be environmental toxins as well. I heard you mention like Colgate toothpaste. So that's something that I guess we don't think of when we're having things, that it can be what we're putting on our skin as well. Like we don't just have to be ingesting it.
Yeah. So look at how much, like I have to be on a progesterone cream now. And just by rubbing one pump of this cream on my body, I've got my levels of progesterone right up to where it should be. What else are we rubbing on our body that gets absorbed? Everything gets, that we come in contact with our skin comes in contact with, gets absorbed. And I'm even going down the rabbit hole of the clothes that we're wearing, the sheets that we're sleeping in, so looking into linen a little bit more, looking into the cotton, making sure that we wear undies with our, if we're going to wear lycra. And I've been trying to go down the no undie route, because the undies, cause the creases and stops the flow. And so got the no bra, but I've also been going through like the no undies, but then you've got that lycra on your bits, right? That highly absorbent area of your body. So I'm like, why can't we all just walk around naked? Like, when did clothes ever become a thing?
Wouldn't that be good, hey? Wouldn't that help with everyone's self-esteem if we all just were naked, hey?
Yes.
I just want to flick back to the hair test just before we continue. Yes. And so when you initially get that hair test, does that sometimes show the foods that you eat a lot? Like, do they generally show up more?
Yeah, so some people will get their results. So we cut off a little bit of hair. You can do this from anywhere in the world. If you're in India listening, you can send us your hair and we'll test it against Indian food. We can send it, we will test it against New Zealand food. So send me hair from wherever you are. It's just from the ends. We will send you your results within a week or two from us receiving your hair. We give you the results. You open them up and you have your own pity party, because it'll be like, oh my God, no more coffee. No, so it'll tell you what alcohol you can and can't have. It'll go through and tell you flours. There's 600 different, what protein powders. This is a really important one, because everyone's like, oh, let's have protein powder. They're just having whey or just having pea. or rice, but this will tell you which is the best protein powder, which are the best fats. It goes through every single bit of food, and you will get a list of foods that will be in red of what to avoid for 6 months. And then the list in black comes back and says, these are the foods that aren't going to cause your body inflammation. Most people will look at it and go, oh, that's all that I eat. I eat that all the time and that all the time. And that chicken comes up 70 to 80% of the time. People eat way too much chicken. Chicken has to go down the list when it comes to food. We need to eat more turkey. We need to eat more fish. They need to come a little bit higher up the list. But if you ask me to do a diet plan for you, I would say no, because I am not telling you to eat chicken, broccoli, and quinoa, you know, because it could come up on your hair test. So I will say, make sure you have a protein, a fat, and a carbohydrate. But I can't tell you which ones by looking at you. When I get your hair test results back, I will then go, oh, look at all this cleaning material that has come up here. Oh, look at the Colgate. Oh, look at this perfume. Or, oh, obviously you've got some type of autoimmune issue going on for these different things to come up. So I can tell a person by when I get the hair test results back on what other issues that they've got going on in their body. And, you know, it does so many good things. So yes, so you got to reduce those foods for 6 months, then you can slowly add them back in. If you forget, so I had to take out chicken, and then I thought, oh, I was going to it was like 4 weeks in, and I was going to Pierre's Chicken. If you've ever been to Pierre's Chicken in Wynnum, it is the best chicken ever. And I thought I could just have this little bit. No way. Like my lips, and I didn't have any trouble before with chicken. My lips swelled up, like having a lip job without any injections. And then okay. And then I went to Bali maybe a month after that and had chicken. I'm like, it's not going to know it's Balinese chicken. Oh my God, went through me like Bali belly, like you wouldn't believe. So once you it's the head thing again. Once you read the things that you cannot have, and then you have it, your subconscious goes, you were told. Now I'm going to make you pay. And you pay if you eat something on the list that you shouldn't be doing. It's crazy how it works, but it works like that too.
Oh, that's so fascinating. I can only imagine getting that initial list and freaking out that it's most of the stuff that I eat on a daily basis. As you said, Chelsey, it's the emotional roller coaster as well as what's going on physically in our lipedema bodies. It's a holistic approach. On that, you mentioned your gloves before. Talk us through some of the other products that you have that you've created for your clinic, but specifically how they can help with the lipedema community.
Yeah. So I want to empower, not only do I want to have people coming in and having treatments, I want to empower people that they can make a change for themselves and make a difference and take back that own power. It's like, yes, I have a diagnosis. Okay, now what do I do? What goals do I set? What can I achieve? And if it is walking around in a skirt, like I would love that. If it isn't, that's okay. If it's about doing up fitting into your favorite shoes, that's, I would love that as well. Like it's doesn't matter how little or big the goal is. I want to empower mainly women to be able to do that. So that's why I developed my gloves. And you've got the spikiness on one side, and then you've got the magnetic balls on the other. So we do our body brushing with the spiky side of the glove, always starting at the heart. And this is, it's not hard. It's quite easy to do. If you brush your teeth every day, let's brush our body. Let's encourage that lymph to keep moving and, brush over that tissue. Add in the breath and some different things too. So we do 2 minutes a day of our body brushing. As I said, it's super important to make sure you are using the right creams and sprays and different things on your body. So I have developed my own lymphatic cream, and we make this as a family, my parents and my son, we bottle, we label, and I'm going to lie that I don't have anyone here just to show you, but let's pretend that this is a bigger one. So my Lipoedema cream has got castor oil in it. We've seen so much about how important castor oil is for any issues going on in the body. So we've got castor oil, we've got frankincense, we've got gotcha cola, yarrow. There is like 10 different herbs and essential oils in my cream that your body's going to absorb to help detoxification, but also help support circulation. So we're helping breaking down and helping with the movement of fluid through the body too. And then we've got the magnesium lymphatics, so magnesium as well as MSM, but that also has the frankincense because it's my favorite, and lots of different essential oils in here. So you can use the magnesium as deodorant. You can use this for pain because the pain, the soreness in lipedema is also a thing, like the soreness of how your body gets. You mix the two of them together, mix the cream and the lymphatics together. It's going to help the cream absorb in deeper. And it's also going to make the cream last longer. So instead of getting 1 month out of a bottle, you might get 1.5 up to 2 months out of a bottle of the cream. So mixing it with the magnesium spray. And then I've made a face cream as well. So that's my face biotics with prebiotics in there, and hyaluronic acid and different vitamins and phytonutrients too. So I've got the products that we can use on our body that, no, I nearly said safe and effective, that are fantastic to use and absorb and healthy and change and nourish. We want to plump up the skin in a way that allows flow and movement through the middle. We don't want this really hard compactness happening. We want to be able to give it some bounce so everything can flow as best as it can through the body. And that was the reason that I formulated my creams. So that's what we do at home. Tiana, we use the gloves and we use the creams, and that's how we make a difference. And it is a bit of an exercise routine as well, doing the gloves. So we've got that. But the next thing that you're going to love is our Circulate device. Did you want me to talk about that now, or did you want to ask me any more questions about the creams?
Yeah, no, thank you, Chelsey. You beat me to it. I'm really interested in the lymphatic compression suit, please.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to come in because I'm going to say I love the creams. Like, I use the cream and it's not just absorbed, gone. Like, your skin is supple all day. It is amazing.
Thanks, Shell. Like, I use the body cream on my face as a mask. Yeah, I use it all over. I put the magnesium in the bath, about 1 inch out of the bottle in the bath as well. So, or even use it as a foot soak. There are so many different things. Midges, you can put it on and it will keep the midges away as well. It's a nice natural way of doing that. But anything that we can do to make sure that your body is only absorbing good stuff and your skin is staying plump and moisturized and protected too. Yeah, so all right. So now we move on to my new baby. Now, I've been using compression. I started my first clinic when I was 19. Okay, so that's when I started moving and grooving and helping everybody with their lymphatic system. And then I started using a compression device probably when I was about 25, and it was a Sarissa brand, and it was beautiful, and it was a big, massive motor, and it had, you know, the 6 series of compression, and it was great. But it was what I couldn't portable, you know, it wasn't portable. I couldn't move it around as much, and it was a bit noisy, and it was just a one person only, and it was fine, but it was $14,000, and it was a lot of money. Nobody could have that at home, really. Like, that's a bit out of the budget. Then I found another device which was great. I'm like, oh, look, it's portable. We can move it around. You know, that was good. It was with the Normatec, but then it didn't last very long without failing. And then I thought, okay, I need to make something cheaper, but better quality, that had more features, and I wanted to help everybody to be able to do this at home. So that's when I developed my Circulate range of products. So it's a little motor like this. We've got 6 different modes. We've got all the time in the world that you can put on here, different levels of compression plus different zones of compression. One motor can do 2 people, which I love with this. And we have got all of these body parts here. So we've got the legs, the arms, the waist, and the shorts, all with the motor. So easy to use. And one of the great things is they also have extenders. So you can zip in these extenders and make it wide, wide, wide to fit any width of leg. That's what I also love too. Yeah. So
yeah, especially because, sorry, Chelsey, especially because some of our lipedema community, they might be small waisted, but they may have much bigger legs. And so it sounds really inclusive, which is fantastic.
Yeah. And I had a lady call me the other day, and she's like, Chelsey, I've been looking at all of the different MediRent and like all of the different other devices. And she said, for one, you answered all of my questions and came back to me and answered all my questions. I know that it wasn't just a robot. And then for 2, I don't want to look like I'm going to a medical treatment. I don't want it like that. Some of the devices look there like they are for sick people. I don't want to sit in psychologically. I don't want to sit in a device that looks like for sick people. I want to be in a device that I'm going to feel active and rejuvenated, and that it's like going to propel me to feel better. And it was just, I loved that. And then she also said, like, the support that you offer is also a great benefit. And that's who I want to reach. That's what I want to do. My purpose is to educate as many women as I can with lymphatic health, and offer advice that makes sense that I wish we were taught in schools. And that's where you guys, come into play with this. I know that that's what you want as well. And this is how we become a team, and we share. And, we don't want anyone to feel alone in this, because that's what comes back to the Louise Hay causes of inflammation, is that inner loneliness. And we want to stop that feeling. We want to let everybody know that there is help, there is support available too. But it's not something that you Google. You don't Google a big L word, lipedema or lymphedema or lymphatics, right? It's not something that people, when they're thinking, what's going on with my legs? Like, I'm going to the doctor, and the doctor's like, oh, you're fat. Just reduce your calories. Oh, just go and exercise more. Oh, look, go and have gastric band surgery. Oh, here's an antidepressant. It's no. It's a no.
Yeah, we want to empower people to lean on the wellness community instead of the sickness industry, which is, our GPs and our emergency departments in our hospitals, for sure. So here. Before we get cut off, because we're running out of time, where can the lipedema community find you?
Hopefully they can just Google me, and I'll be in my underwear somewhere rubbing my boobs and like doing this lymphatic dance that I do all the time. But no, find me Chelsey Jean Y, so SEY, chelsejean.com.au. On Facebook, we've got our boob camp group, which I go live and I educate once a month. Get in there and give as much information as I can. Instagram, Facebook, I'm about to launch my franchises. So I'm coming to a city near you as soon as possible. And then CJ & Co, the circulate with the compression. So yeah, I hope that Google work does its wonders and people can find me anywhere. Tiana, yeah, clothes or not.
Fantastic. No, absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. We've really appreciated. We hope to get you back on maybe for season 2 for another chat with us, because I feel like we've just scratched the surface for everything that not only that you offer to the community, but also that you believe in can support like everybody, not just the lipedema community. So thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies. Love being
Thank
here
you,
and seeing your
Chelsey.
faces. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Lipoedema podcast. Lipoedema and its symptoms vary from individual to individual. The opinions and advice voiced on this podcast are of a personal nature and used for educational purposes.
Please take away from this podcast what resonates with you, and please see your GP or preferred specialist for diagnosis and healthcare. We are Shelley and Tiana from the Lipoedema podcast. Until our next episode, bye for now.